Welcome to the February 2020 Business Energy Reading. I am excited to bring you some great stuff for this month. I want to see how the business energy is flowing for your business, and we have a fabulous pick a deck. All right, before we get all the way into the pick a deck, I want to say welcome to I have a lot of new people, so thank you so much for subscribing. I really appreciate that. And of course, if you're enjoying these pick a decks, make sure that if you're just watching, to start subscribing and ring the bell for notifications. And of course, like this so I know to make more. Now, you can check out different ways to work with me in the description below. We've got all sorts of things going on down there, ways for you to join the LOVEBUG community. So I encourage you to check out those different items. And with that, I'm going to jump right into it. So I've already pre-shuffled this one, but you know, it's got to go through some more. As I was prepping for this video, I knew that we had to pull an overarching card. I'm using the self-care deck to pull that card. And so let's see what card comes up for us. And it is guidance. Well, that's good because we're getting some guidance right now, aren't we? All right, so guidance. Let's turn this over. The divine will meet your every need. Just ask for guidance. And I think that's really important. I think it's interesting. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this here in the video or not. But we have a gentleman reading a book, and I always look at the owl. I think Athena, I think wisdom. Of course, we have keys to knowledge, but as we're flipping the page, he has a keyboard. So there's all sorts of ways. There's very traditional ways that you can get guidance. And then there's going to be some quote-unquote non-traditional ways for you to get guidance. And it comes from all sorts of places, from the spirit world, from books, from the internet, from animals, all sorts of things we get guidance. And the reason I say that is information is presented to us all sorts of ways. And sometimes we really don't recognize it because it's coming from a source that we think it shouldn't be coming from. Or maybe it's not the source we expected. Might even be a better way to put that. So when you ask for guidance, be open to different ways the information can get to you. All right, so great card for our February 2020 Business Energy Reading, our overarching card. So let's get into our decks. We can put this card over here. I think we'll be able to see it for a while throughout. So we've got 3 decks for us today. Deck 1, Deck 2, and Deck 3. Again, Deck 1, Deck 2, and Deck 3. If you need to, pause the video until you decide upon a deck. And again, choose intuitively for which deck. I put some stones out there just to make them stand out a little bit more. But definitely, you don't necessarily have to go with a stone or even with a number. Typically, I just feel drawn to one of the decks. So take a moment, pause the video if you need to, and with that, we're going to move into deck number 1. All right, deck choosers number 1, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and see what the business energy is for you for February 2020, and let's see what we've got February 2020 has to tell for you. We've got Rising Above. For those of you into numerology, that's number 11. It's Clarity, Freedom, Solution. We've got Perception. I feel like this needs to go over here. That is a number 39, Beyond the Veil of Illusion. So I think there's going to just be a lot of clarity, it seems like, coming in. Yeah, because we've got to rise above things. So there might be something a little shocking that's going to happen in your business, right? Something that you didn't see coming. Let's see what else we've got here. We've got Birth. All right. I always like that, Phoenix Rising. All right. Let me go ahead and look at this archetype card before we get into the others. And we've got Child Magical. So this is the archetype you're going to be leaning into. So we've got here the light attributes of seeing the potential for sacred beauty in all things, the belief that everything is possible. And I think, yeah, when you rise above the situation, you can start seeing the fog that's been over you. You really do start seeing that everything is possible. So shadow attributes, pessimism, depression, disbelief in miracles, believing that energy and action are not required for growth. Oh, very interesting. Very interesting. So if you see yourself slipping into shadow attributes, make sure to embrace the lighter attributes. I think it's very interesting that energy and action are not required for growth. I think it has to do with that whole kind of idea of should I effort? You know, I think a lot of people interpret something like the law of attraction to mean I imagine what I want, and it shows up, and there's nothing I have to do. And yes, part of it is really getting crystal clear about what you want, right? You always need to be crystal clear about what you want in your business. Now, I have a video where I talk about instant manifestation. I have a video where I talk about, and I'll try and link it above, where there's all sorts of things you can do to work with your own special kind of magic, right? But that's part of it. The rest is laying the groundwork. It's kind of like there is no overnight success. There was always groundwork that was laid in order to have a foundation to have the success. And I just think sometimes with people with law of attraction, like all I have to do is just think about it and it's going to happen, without realizing there's groundwork to be laid. There are what I call divine nudges that you'll receive to get into action so that things can flow. It's just that it's not as hard. There's efforting, but it's not as hard. It's easeful, not easy. All right, so let's see what else we got going on here. We've got the Fool reversed. We've got Hangman reversed. Let's see what else. We've got the Lovers reversed. We've got some reversals going on here. And we've got the Nine of Swords. Okay, so we've got quite a bit going on here. All right, so the Nine of Swords is really just a nightmare. So maybe things have not been going so well. That makes sense with it needing to rise above it, changing the perception. And I think that's really important because there can be a fear about moving forward, right? And that's what we're seeing here with the Fool. And you do a judgment. All right, the Hanged Man being reversed. There's a fear of moving forward. There's a fear of seeing things from a new perspective, but in order to actually fully wake up from the nightmare, we have to do that. And we have to trust. And that's what we're seeing over here with the Lovers. That just like a moment ago, I talked about you'll get those divine nudges. You've got to trust those divine nudges, right? But sometimes if we're trying to manifest things and we're not clear, there's a problem, right? Clarity is huge. Huge, huge, huge. And even with that clarity, if we're not taking action, we have issues too. So this is really interesting so far. What else have we got here? And of course, I forgot to mention some of these. I'll come back to some of the astrology with this too. Okay, so we got the Page of Pentacles. All right, and what else do we have here? We have Death. And we have the Ace of Pentacles. So it's interesting that we have the Ace and the Page of Pentacles. We've got the Page upright. We've got the Ace reversed. So to me, the Page of Pentacles here is representing the hope to get beyond the nightmare, to really change the perception, rise up into rebirth, which is nice that we have the Death card here, because the Death card is all about rebirth. Something dies, something else is born, right? So that absolutely makes sense. And we start rising above, just like the Phoenix. So I really like kind of what's going on here, but it's all really contingent upon you being willing to wake up from the nightmare and make the changes and to realize that you need to effort. All right, so the Ace of Pentacles here is reversed. And I just see that as going back to the nightmare. It's like if you, sometimes, I know I got more to do here. Sometimes it just feels like the nightmare is familiar. We're familiar with what makes us sad. We're familiar and it feels comfortable. Even though it's uncomfortable, it's what we know. And that's what I'm really getting here at the Ace of Pentacles is this desire, maybe the ego's desire to go back to what you know instead of moving forward. It's like waking up from the nightmare also means facing some other things. So let's see what else we've got here. We got help in from the fairies, peace of mind, which will be really important to you. And I think because sometimes it can be so scary to even wake up from the nightmare, knowing that you have peace of mind coming when you come out the other side, breaking free, which is very akin to rising above and living happily ever after. Oh my gosh, deck choosers number 1. Like, you can get rid of this whole thing if you wake up and take action. So what is going on in your business right now? I want to know in the comments below, what is feeling like a nightmare to you? You're asking for guidance, right? Make sure to continue to ask for guidance. That was the main thing that came up for everyone. But looking at this, I just see someone just feeling overwhelmed and needing to go through this death rebirth cycle within their business. Maybe it's just one specific offering that needs to die so that something else can come out, or so that the other ones can really shine. That could be it. Let me see what's going on with this last card. Just be yourself. Okay. I love that card, by the way. Just be yourself. You're a great person. Enjoy being yourself. So it's important to be yourself. And if in all of this is the reason that it's a nightmare for you, are you even doing the right business? Is this the business you were called to do? Or is this the business that you feel will just make you money? This business energy reading has been really, really interesting. I want to get into a few more other things here, but I want you to think about that, deck choosers number 1. Is this, whatever your business is, maybe the reasons that you're having fits and starts and everything else is because this isn't the business you're supposed to be in anyway, right? You're supposed to be doing something else. Oh, that's crazy, PNs. So, or like I said, it could be just a program that is out of alignment or an offering that's out of alignment. But for some of you, it's the whole thing. You went in it to make money and your heart's not there. You feel like you're slowly dying inside. Every day you're living a nightmare. So yeah, definitely check that out. There's some, in the description box, there's going to be some ways to contact me. And of course, you can reach out to me on Instagram. Feel free to DM me, because what I'm seeing right now, deck choosers number 1, is something's got to change. Something's got to change, or your ego is going to talk you right back in. Because of money, your ego is going to talk you into staying in the nightmare every time. And that is not what you want to have happen, right? That's not what you want to have happen. Because the reality of the situation is, if you wake up from the nightmare, if you rise above it all, if you change your perception, if you embrace the magical attributes, right up here, that's our archetype for you for the month. All these other things come. Peace of mind, you break free, happily ever after, all because you are being yourself. So let me know how this lands for you, deck choosers number 1. We're going to move on to deck number 2. All right, deck choosers number 2. This is your business energy reading for February 2020. I'm going to move this stone off and let's see what story is coming for you. All right, we've got Flame Tree, which is, for those of you into numerology, number 30. It's just the start of something new. I love rebirth scenarios. Let's see what else we got going on here. Ooh, okay. We've got creativity. Oh, wow. And Let me see. We've got making new friends. I'm starting to feel an expansion of community coming. Let's see what else we got. That choosers number 2. We've got, actually I want this one here. This is your archetype card. The archetype you can really lean into this month, and for you it is warrior. The light attributes of warrior are strength, skill, discipline, toughness of will, heroism, stoicism, and self-sacrifice, and conquering the ego. Okay, shadow attributes. Trading ethical principles for victory at any cost, indifference to the suffering inflicted upon others. Now, I know we are spiritual entrepreneurs, we're conscious entrepreneurs, and that is not what we're about, but it's definitely something to be on a lookout for. And sometimes even when you get into heroism and self-sacrifice, conquering, the ego actually can get emboldened instead of conquered. So it's something that you really, as you lean into warrior, to make sure not to lean in so far. Okay, let's see what else we got here. We've got romantic partner. There might be a partnership in here. What else do we have? We've got let go of stress. Don't take on other people's stress. Breathe it out now. A wiser thing has not been spoken. Let me move that over here. And which is going to be interesting, because as you start to look at partnerships, whether it is a partner in your business, a collaboration, or even working really intimately with a client, you cannot take on their stress. So important. You cannot take on their stress, right? It's kind of like, I forgot which mentor I had that said this, so I feel bad because I'm not quoting the right person, but basically she said, I can't run your business for you. That is your job. It's my job to guide you. I can't make all the decisions for you. I can't basically take on all the stress of the business on your behalf. That's something you need to do, because doing this whole entrepreneurial journey, it is a growth experience. And it's full of, like we see here, creativity. You meet amazing people along the way. We start new things. It looks like maybe one of your new things might be some kind of partnership or collab, but we'll see. Let's keep going here. Worth waiting for. Your patience will be rewarded. All right, so let's see what else we've got here. I like that because I'm getting the vibe of not everything happens instantaneously. We live in such an instantaneous society. We like things to happen instantaneously. But knowing that your patience is being rewarded is huge. All right, so let's see what else we've got here. We've got the 3 of Wands. We've got the 5 of Swords. And we've got the Tower, King of Cups, and the Magician. Wow. Okay, so we've got quite a bit going on here. I'm just kind of separating these out so I can see them better. And you can too. All right, so deck choosers number 2. We've got a lot going on here with steps and some things to be aware of. All this cricketness is making me crazy. Is that perfectionism creeping in? Let's see. Let's go let go of that stress. All right, so let's look here at the 3 of Wands reversed. And I see someone that wanted to go on a journey and didn't. Right? Maybe wanted, and that journey could be a physical journey, right? Maybe you're doing retreats or something like that, or wanted to go to a retreat or a conference, something of that nature, and didn't. Right? And maybe you got talked out of it, or maybe you felt attacked. Okay. Yeah. So you wanted to start something, you didn't. And I think travel was involved. And because you felt attacked, you felt like at every turn, this thing was not coming together. Maybe it was just organizing things at home so things could be handled while you're gone. Maybe it was the money. Maybe it was the people. It just like everything wasn't coming together and you just felt beat up, right? But that's okay. I mean, what happens, and I'm just going to say this for those of you who still might be a little bit nervous about going to conferences, you meet such amazing people. Amazing people. All right, so let's look at what we can do to get to the start of something new, to really bring in the creativity, to look more. We might have to pull a few more cards about what's going on here with this collaboration or partnership. That's going to be worth waiting for, but I don't know. Let's see. Okay, so we've got the Magician, we've got the King of Cups, and we've got the Tower. And the Magician is Mercury. So think about Mercury as messages coming in. That's the astrological association. Magician means you've got everything you need. You can make it happen. And really the messenger does make everything happen, doesn't he? So he's like the instigator without getting all the fanfare, right? So you can make everything happen. So anything where you felt like you had to take from other people, or you felt like you were always losing the fight. And that's what I really see here is you feel like you're losing the fight and having to defend yourself. You actually have everything you need. There wasn't a fight to lose, right? So going forward, know that. And then again, we have the King of Cups, which is total command of emotional and spiritual and really weaving those together. And so in a lot of nurturing I'm seeing there also with Cancer, so a lot of mama energy. So I'm seeing a few things here. So I'm also seeing maybe a little bit about community, making new friends. So whether it's a community that you're joining or a community that you're creating. All right, hold on. Before I go there, let me go over here and go to the Tower. And again, you can lean into where your Mercury and your Mars is into your chart. One of these really is speaking to you as I'm looking at them. But the Tower, of course, is having things disrupted, doing things differently. And I think right now, because you always felt like you couldn't doing things differently means that you can do. You're disrupting the normal outcome. And you've been probably at this for years. Like this has been something you've wanted to do for a long time. And now your patience is being rewarded. You're going to meet some amazing people. I'm actually really excited for you in February. Whether it's just, you might be at the planning stages of something, but even during those planning stages, you're going to meet amazing people. You might actually be taking off and going somewhere. And I do believe that this partnership piece here, and I do want to pull a couple extra cards, so let me grab them. All right, so I want to know more about this piece about the letting go of stress. I do feel like it's someone else's stress that you're bringing on. I don't know if it's a client. I don't know if it's a business partner. I don't know if it's in your personal life, a collab, but it's like you're shouldering everything. So I just want to get a little bit more on this to see what's going on here. Okay, I need one more. Okay, so we've got the Empress, which is all about Venus. So we've got Venus and we've got Mars. So we've got a little energy going on there. But in this case, I do feel like you want something to happen so badly with this person. And you want to see it come to fruition, and it can come to fruition, right? Everything's in place for it, except you won't make it there if you keep shouldering all the stress. It's unbalanced. And of course, you have to know that Venus also rules a Libra. And so I feel this unbalance there in order for everything to come to fruition for you. Like I said, it's all there. It's riding out into the sunset for you. It's coming back with the prize, but you won't make it back if you keep shouldering all the stress. So right now, use that creativity, and the Empress is all about creativity too. Use that creativity to your fullest in all your collaborations, partnerships with your clients, because it does bear fruit for them and for you. Just don't shoulder all the stress, right? Make sure that they understand what's their part. Make sure they're doing make sure they're doing their part. Sometimes we have this desire to control everything. It's funny, I talked about perfectionism a second ago. Sometimes we have this desire to control everything. And when we're controlling everything, and it has to be a certain way, and we don't believe others can actually do their part, we're not willing to let go and let them do it because it has to be quote unquote perfect or only done this way, or I don't think they quite have the skills to do that, and we don't want any potential for failure. We're shouldering all the stress. And by the way, when you're shouldering all the stress, there's a high potential for failure, right? Because you're not at your best at all. So I want you to make sure that whatever it is that you're doing, that everyone is responsible and fully responsible for their part. I think that's going to help you to let go of the stress. It's going to make it a better and more fruitful relationship, and you'll be able to ride back with all the spoils, right? Isn't that really what you want? And as for this travel aspect, I think it has a lot to do with it as well, because you're learning through all of this, right? That strength and all that warrior attribute doesn't mean to feel, because you feel beat up, so you got to lean into the warrior, but the warrior can be flipped around to where you're actually being the bully, so to speak. And if you let go of the stress, you let go of having to control everything, you lean more into your creativity, you'll have more fruitful encounters, and you'll realize it was all worth waiting for. It's going to be disruptive, especially to you. All right, that is what I have for you, deck choosers number 2. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know how this landed with you, what is going on in your business. I'll be interested to read about it and to offer some guidance. All right, let's move on to deck number 3. All right, deck choosers number 3. This is your business energy reading. Let's move this down over here. Let's see what's going on for you guys. Let's start here with these two. Let's see the story. We've got Moon Tree. Y'all know I love everything associated with the moon. We've got Guardian. Interesting. We've got Moon Tree. We've got Guardian. We've got Guidance. We have a lot going on at nighttime. I wonder if some shadow stuff's going to come up. We will have to see about that. But seeing that we already pulled Guardian, let's look at our archetype card. We have the Thief. Talk about some nighttime imagery going on here. We got the Thief. Sheds light on the potential wealth within you that can never be stolen. Self-worth. Okay. Shadow attributes. Stealing money, creative ideas, affection, or other powers you think you lack. Ooh. All right. So just pausing right there. How does this land with you so far, deck choosers number 3? How are you seeing this fitting into your business? So we've got a lot here. We're going to keep going. Speaking of wealth, we've got Ganesh. For those of you into numerology, it's 31. Clearing away obstacles, protection, and guidance. Gosh, we've got a lot about guidance, don't we? We've got Sacred Journey. Let's move that one just a smidge, which is number 22. Life Cycles, Family, and Transformation. We've got number 4, which is the Dream. Something is revealed, insight, a breakthrough. Gosh. And we've got number 14, Purification by Fire. Bare Essentials, the Naked Truth, Wholeness. Deck choosers number 3. What is going on with you guys with your business? So there's wealth, and then there's a shadow attribute of the Thief. of knowing your own inner worth. We've got moon tree. We've got a dream. We've got purification about fire. We've got a lot on guidance and being guarded. Transformation. There's a lot going on here. So are you going through, I'd be interested to know one or two things. Well, actually, all of it. All of it. Tell me all of it in the comments. Do you have some kind of business where you're doing transformation? Deep transformational work, not like surface stuff, but like deep transformational work where people are going through some major changes. That's one thing I'm seeing here, because you're going to work with their shadows. Or are you going through that transformation yourself, where you're working through those shadows so that your business can be more of what it should be, so you can see and stand in your worth. And then it's not like this money grab. Right? Money grab's probably a harsh way to put it. But standing in your worth, when you stand in your worth, you might, or you'll probably make more money. That's the truth. But it won't be, money doesn't define who you are. You already have self-worth. That's what I want to say. All right, let's see what else we've got going on here. Okay, we've got the Lovers reversed. I'm sorry. The Two of Cups reversed. Y'all. We've got, it's reversals make me crazy because then I'm trying to read upside down. We've got the Seven of Swords reversed. And we've got the Knight of Cups reversed. All right. So I did say the Lovers, and so there's probably a reason I said that, but it also reminds me there's a decision. When there's a dyad, there's a decision going on. And it takes courage to make that decision. Now, it could mean, I would say, something new that you want to bring forth, that you're maybe even working with someone else to bring forth in your business, and it just didn't work out. And I think it wasn't bad that it didn't work out. When you look back, it wasn't bad that it didn't work out. It actually was a good thing. Now, also, we've got the Seven of Swords here. We're wanting to pick up things. So stop looking back at whatever that situation was. It doesn't matter anymore. You're going to be moving forward. That situation doesn't matter. This is an invitation for you to go deeper. This was surface. And now you're getting an invitation to go deeper with the rest of the cards. Now, the Knight of Cups still means there's more to do on this journey, but that's okay because we're still going through this purification. You're still being guided. Again, this is about working in the shadows and going deeper. So that doesn't surprise me, but don't think, oh, I messed out because XYZ didn't happen in the past. And I want to look back on that and reminisce on it. And I wish that product could have worked out, or that partnership could have worked out, or that client would have come on board. It doesn't matter. Okay, we've got the Fool and we've got the Moon. Yeah, you definitely have a lot of new energy coming in here. Of course, definitely take a look at where Uranus and Pisces fall in your natal chart. That's going to obviously be a good guidance to you. But there, like I said, this is a moment, and I'm seeing it more and more for a lot of you, not all of you, but a lot of you. Remember, that's a general reading, but a lot of you, this is about your transformation. This is about dealing with your shadows and making that journey so you can lead others on that journey, really. And there's that newness in it. There's the, being afraid to take that first step because you can't see what's below you. It reminds me of that Indiana Jones movie. They had the leap of faith, I think they called it, or something. And it was an optical illusion. You literally couldn't see the walkway from the angle that you would be standing at. And so the leap of faith was just going even though you couldn't see it. That is a leap you're being asked to make. That's the journey of the Fool, is just going walking off the cliff, knowing it's going to be okay, knowing that you're going to be supported, knowing as you make this transformation that you're going to come out the other side okay. But it takes a little time to play in the darkness there. Gosh, I just did an email out about the joy of embracing your darkness. This is just so perfect for that. All right, so let's see what our last week cards are hold. All right, look at that. We've got the Knight of Cups reversed through this strand, and now we have it upright, the coming home. The coming home. Victorious, really working with that emotions and intuition at coming home. That's perfect. So what else we got here? We've got follow your dreams, and a lot of this is going to involve a lot of dream work. We've got the dream here. We're going to get the insights there. You might start doing some dream work with your clients. I can see that. It's what I'm seeing is, whoops, a card flew away. What I'm seeing is very, very mystical happening throughout this whole thing. But it's going from something that was very surface, right? This was very, very surface. And then really embracing what's in the dark, right? And understanding that beauty and wealth that you have within, just like we saw here, the light attribute of the thief. You are being guided, right? Your sacred journey with the guardian. And of course, you get to ask for guidance. That was the overall card for everyone. So hold on, let me get the card that flew away. All right, I got the card that flew away. Y'all. It's a healer. You have the power to help and heal others. I'm going to put this one here. I think that's just such a perfect way to end, because once you go through this journey, it is an amazing journey where just to be held to go through it and guided, and all the guidance is there for you. You'll come out the other side as a strong healer. You'll be able to heal yourself, and you'll be able to take others through this healing journey. So deck choosers number 3, oh my goodness, February is going to just have some ruminations for you and a lot of internal changes. You know, Pisces, I always think of Pisces as still waters run deep. There's a lot going on there under the surface. But let it happen, because the surface stuff doesn't serve you anyway. All right, let me know how that lands for you in the comments, deck choosers number 3. And for everyone, I say peace, joy, love to you.